Only 14% of Americans will ever see $100,000 in their accounts. If you've hit that milestone, you're now part of an elite club, but be warned, most people never turn six figures into real, lasting wealth. Here's why. The next decisions you make will either set you up for financial independence or keep you stuck in the treadmill of just getting by. And there's one silent mistake, even among high earners, that quietly ruins fortunes, which I'll reveal before this video's end. If you've worked for years to stack that account, grinding and sacrificing, what you do next is about to matter more than any saving you've done so far. Stay with me. I'll walk you step by step through the 7 moves that separate lifelong wealth builders from everyone else. And in move 6, I'll expose the silent wealth killer 90% of new savers never see coming. Let's dive right in. Look, you might be seeing 6 figures in your account for the very first time. Maybe it took you years of grinding, budgeting, and sacrifice. So congratulations, you've crossed a line that most people dream about but never reach. According to the Federal Reserve's 2023 Survey of Consumer Finances, less than 14% of Americans ever hit $100,000 in savings or investments. So recognize this is a massive accomplishment already, but you'll quickly realize that having $100,000 isn't the finish line. It's just the starting gate for building real wealth. And here's the twist that most people don't see. Having the cash is actually the easy part. Knowing exactly what to do with it, without blowing your shot at lifelong financial security is where things get real. For most, the flood of advice starts immediately. There's always someone telling you to go all in on the latest crypto, your buddy suggesting rental properties, and your financial advisor pitching actively managed funds laden with fees. I'm Jim, and on Jim Invests, my mission is to break down how money really works, not just how Wall Street or banks want you to think it does. And if you want your $100,000 to actually create wealth for you instead of padding other people's pockets, make sure you're subscribed to Jim Invests and hit that like button if you want more deep dives like this. Quick disclaimer before we dive deeper. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Consult a licensed advisor for advice specific to your situation. All right, here's the truth. Most six-figure savers fall into one of two traps. They either get overwhelmed by a tidal wave of options and freeze, doing nothing with their cash for months, or even worse, they get overconfident, chasing investments or opportunities that tank years of hard work in an instant. I'm going to walk you through 7 key moves that turn $100,000 into the foundation for real wealth, not just bragging rights. And if you stick around for move 6, I'll need to bear the fee trap that quietly evaporates fortunes even as your account balance climbs. Move 1, don't rush in. Pause, breathe, and assess. This might sound crazy, but if you've just hit $100,000, the very first thing I want you to do is absolutely nothing for about 2 weeks. I know you're probably itching to make your money work for you, but acting out of impatience is a classic wealth destroyer. The anxiety about missing out on market returns causes countless people to rush into investments, only to regret it when markets turn or their actual needs become clear. Instead, step back and look at your complete financial picture. Do you have lingering debt? Is your emergency fund robust and truly separate from your investments? Have your career and income stabilized, or could job changes be on the horizon? What are your concrete short and long-term money goals? Beyond just having more, these questions aren't abstract. They're crucial to mapping a plan you can actually execute. Failing to align your money moves with your true priorities is the #1 reason new savers end up disappointed, stressed, or worst case, right back in their old paycheck to paycheck scramble. Take a few weeks, reflect, and sketch out a full inventory of your finances. We're just getting started here. If any of this already has you rethinking your plan, drop a money bag in the comments to let us know you're with us. That's move 1. Now let's go deeper. Move 2. Build a bomb-proof foundation, starting with your emergency fund. Before you even think about the stock market or risky investments, it's critical to lock down your defenses. A good emergency fund is your first and best insurance against the unexpected curveballs life loves to throw. Old financial wisdom says 3 to 6 months of expenses is the magic number. But let's get more nuanced. If you're single, have no dependents, and work in a stable sector, 3 months might be sufficient. Married with kids, a mortgage, or working in a volatile industry, 6 months is safer and 9 months isn't too cautious. Do the math. If your monthly fixed expenses run $3,000, a proper emergency fund should hold $9,000 to $18,000, parked somewhere instantly accessible. And please, don't fall for the myth that a brokerage account doubles as an emergency fund. Stock markets can drop 30% or more just when you need that cash. In 2008, the S&P 500 fell over 37%. Instead, use high-yield savings accounts. As of 2024, reputable banks are paying 4% to 5% on savings, a rate we haven't seen in years. That means $10,000 in a regular savings account at 0.01% returns just $1, while a high-yield account at 5% earns $500 a year. That covers a month's groceries or keeps the lights on for several. Pro tip: check out NerdWallet or Bankrate for comparing the best high-yield savings options, and make sure your choice is FDIC insured. Quick checkpoint: we're 2 moves and stay tuned, because after move 4, I'm sharing a hypothetical example of someone just like you navigating these decisions. And at the end of this move, I want to hear from you. If you've reached 6 figures, what's your number one financial worry now? Drop it below. Your questions shape future videos on Jim Invests. Move 3, eliminate high-interest debt period. I get it, paying off debt isn't flashy, but math doesn't care about trends, and it doesn't care about your fear of missing out. If you're carrying credit card balances or personal loans charging 15%, 20% or more interest, paying those off delivers a guaranteed return, better than any investment you'll find. Think about it. If you pay down a $5,000 balance at 20% interest, that's $1,000 a year you save in ongoing fees. Contrast that with stock market investments, where returns might average 7% to 10% historically, and remember, nothing in the market is guaranteed. Eliminating $15,000 in high-interest debt could save you over $3,000 a year, instantly boosting your cash flow and opening up new options for investing that steady surplus. Emotional wins matter too. Carrying debt is like trying to fill a leaky bucket no matter how much you put in. Something is always draining out. Pay down high-interest balances before investing in anything riskier. And for anyone with student loans or lower-rate mortgages, weigh payoff versus investing more carefully. Run the real numbers, and don't just follow blanket rules. Real quick, what would you do first with $100,000? Would you pay off all debt, invest, or buy something big? Comment your plan below. Your experience helps others in the community. Avoid common mistakes. That's move 3 now, as promised. Let's dive into a real-world case study before unlocking move 4. Meet Sarah, 28, working in tech. She just hit $100,000, her first time ever seeing that number. At first, she was tempted to move all of it into the market at once. But after reviewing her situation, she realized she had $6,000 in credit card debt at 22%, almost no emergency cash, and her company offered a 5% 401k match she'd been too busy to claim. When she paused, Sarah set aside $15,000 for expenses and emergencies, paid off her $6,000 balance, saving $1,320 a year in interest, and upped her 401k contributions to grab that free money, all before she invested a single new dollar. Sarah's smart choices didn't just protect her wealth, they started compounding it. Takeaway: there's a reason disciplined basics trump flashy investments every single time. Okay, back to the action. Move 4. Maximize tax-advantaged accounts, and don't leave money on the table. Here's where many people drop the ball. Contributing to workplace retirement plans, like a 401k IRAs, both traditional and Roth. And HSAs isn't just about retirement. It's a fundamental way to avoid overpaying taxes for the rest of your life. Here's the 2025 math. You can put over $23,000 into a 401k, plus a catch-up if you're 50 or older, and up to $7,000 into an IRA. For HSAs, it's $4,150 per individual or $8,300 for families, triple tax advantage, meaning contributions growth. And withdrawals for health expenses are all tax-free if you follow the rules. Roth IRAs let you pay taxes now, often at lower rates, and withdraw all gains completely tax-free in retirement. Traditional IRAs give you a deduction today, but you'll pay taxes at whatever your future tax rate is. Which is better? If you expect higher earnings or tax hikes in the future, the Roth is usually smarter. You lock in today's lower taxes. If you're in a very high bracket now, but expect to drop in retirement, traditional can save you more upfront. Crucially, These annual contribution limits are true use it or lose it opportunities they don't roll over. December 31st comes and goes. That space is gone forever, along with decades of tax-free compound growth. If you haven't opened an IRA yet, look at Vanguard Fidelity or Schwab for easy, low-fee setup. Your next move, max out every tax-advantaged account you're eligible for before investing in taxable options. Checkpoint 4 moves done. In 2 more steps, I'm revealing the wealth killer most new investors miss, so don't look away now. Move 5, choose proven investments. Most millionaires stick to index funds. This move is so boring, it's almost revolutionary. Ignore the noise about hot stocks, timing the market, or some influencer's secret crypto play. When we look at truly wealthy families, almost all of them owe their nest eggs to the power of compound growth in boring old index funds, specifically funds tracking the S&P 500 or total market indexes. Here's the hard data. From 1926 to today, the S&P 500 has averaged nearly 10% annual returns, weathering wars, crashes, inflation, and political chaos. That means $100,000 invested at 10% annually grows to $255,374 in 10 years, $672,750 in 20 years, and a staggering $1,744,940 30 years, all without adding another dollar. The real secret is time and discipline. Don't try to beat the market with stock picking. 90% of even professional fund managers fail to do so. Instead, focus on low-cost index funds, like those from Vanguard Fidelity or Schwab. And when investing a lump sum, don't throw it all in at once. Embrace dollar-cost averaging by spreading investments over 6 to 12 months. This lessens the risk of buying right before a buying dip, smoothing out your entry and reducing regret. Try breaking your $100,000 into $10,000 chunks monthly. It's simple habit plus math that wins the race. And here's a share-worthy quote for your socials. $100,000 invested in the right place isn't just a milestone, it's your hardest working employee compounding quietly for decades. Before move 6, if you believe in letting your money work harder than you ever could, tap like to tell YouTube you want more. Relentless breakdowns like this one. Move 6, diversify beyond the obvious. And beware the silent fee killer. Let's shift gears. Everyone talks about diversification, but few get it right. True diversification isn't owning 30 mutual funds that might all own the same companies, but spreading risk across fundamentally different asset classes, stocks, bonds, real estate, even international markets. Here's a case for real estate. Most new investors miss. By using leverage, you can control huge assets with your cash. Imagine splitting your $100,000 into 4 $25,000 down payments on properties worth $100,000 each. Now, you control $400,000 real estate. If those properties rise just 5% per year, you earn $20,000 in equity. Your investment, a 20% return, not counting rental income. However, real estate isn't hands-off. Unless you want to screen tenants and fix leaky pipes, consider real estate investment trusts. They give you exposure to income-generating property without becoming a landlord and pay regular dividends. And don't ignore international funds. The United States is just 50% of all global stock market value. Owning some international index funds gives you access to emerging markets that often perform best when the United States is lagging. Now for the silent killer investment fees. A 1% annual fee on $100,000 doesn't sound like much, but over 30 years at 7% growth, that comes out to over $60,000 lost in compounding. That same $100,000 in a low-fee index fund, 0.03% expense ratio, keeps tens of thousands more in your pocket. Never let high fees quietly eat your future. Always check expense ratios before investing. Want to visualize this? Imagine 2 lines on a chart, one climbing, one dragging downward with every extra fraction of a percent in fees. If you're still paying 1% or more annually, find a way to switch. If anything in moves 1 to 6 surprised you, tap like right now. You're on the cusp of the final and most important move. Move 7. Systematize your habits. Protect yourself from yourself. Here's the uncomfortable reality. Most of the damage to new wealth isn't caused by the market itself, sabotage, social media, flashy headlines, and your own emotions are primed to get you to abandon good plans for risky bets. The world will always sell you new opportunities designed to part you from your cash. Discipline is everything. Set up auto transfer rules so money moves automatically into accounts on payday. No decisions, no delays. Commit to increasing your contribution percentage whenever your salary jumps, and rebalance your investments no more than once a year. The fewer moves you make, the more wealth you keep. Dead simple, but it works. And promise yourself never, ever make cash moves in a panic based on headlines or market drops. Instead, ride out storms with confidence that your system is bulletproof. Oh, and as your accounts grow, understand that 1% in annual fees, even if it feels small, is often the difference between retiring early and hitting brick walls. On $100,000, that's $1,000 per year. On $1 million, it's $10,000. Over 30 years, those numbers add up. So hunt for no load, low expense funds at every turn. The seventh move is about building infrastructure that protects your wealth, no matter what the market or your mood tries to do. Remember, the enemy of long-term wealth isn't usually a crash, it's lifestyle inflation, panic selling, and failing to set up habits that make success automatic. Final progress check all 7 moves down. If you're still here, you're in the top 1% of people actually serious about their financial future. Let's wrap with one final mindset shift most six-figure savers never realize. Once you hit $100,000, opportunities multiply. You start seeing chances to invest in businesses, scoop up real estate, negotiate raises, or say no to lowball job offers. But the superpower is in not spending it on lifestyle upgrades the moment the balance tops. 6 zeros. That new car or luxury apartment might feel tempting, but falls apart fast compared to what your $100,000 will do with decades of compounding. Fundamentally, your passive income, not your net worth, should dictate your spending. Spend your $100,000 and you get 12 months of fun. Invest, and you could have $1,700,000 in a ticket to true freedom. If you're sitting on a 100K milestone, what's your biggest worry or question? Drop it below. I'll respond to the top 3 in a future Jim Invest episode. And which of these 7 moves are you already working on? Share your progress below to inspire others just joining our movement. Want to make sure you don't forget any steps? Download my free 7 moves to 1 million plus checklist link in the description. Print it, pin it, and track your journey to real wealth, step by step. And remember, nothing discussed here is a guarantee of profits or success. Markets change, and everyone's situation is unique. Always consult a licensed financial advisor before making big moves, and keep your dreams rooted firmly in reality and discipline. Let's recap exactly how to turn $100,000 into a lifetime of growing wealth. Step 1. Pause and map your situation instead of rushing, because the right first moves matter more than any market timing. Step 2. Build a real emergency fund, 3 to 6 months, of expenses, ideally in a high-yield savings account paying 4 to 5%, which keeps you safe liquid and earning meaningful interest. Step 3. Kill high-interest debt, since nothing compounds losses faster than double-digit rates. Fourth, before investing a cent, maximize every retirement and HSA contribution. You can annual limits expire, so waiting loses you decades of tax-free growth. Fifth, stick to proven low-cost index funds and let the math of compounding $100,000 at 10% annually transform it into $1,700,000 over 30 years. Sixth, diversify with real estate or REITs and international funds, and crucially, hunt high fees out of your portfolio, as a 1% drag can quietly cost you $60,000 or more in lost gains. Seventh, automate your investing and set rules that make doubt and fear of missing out powerless, since your discipline is what lets your money multiply over years, not months. Here's exactly what I want you to do next. Today, write down your full, honest financial picture, sets debts, goals, risks, and map out your emergency fund and high-interest debt attack plan. This week, open or compare a high-yield savings account. Review your 401k and IRA contribution rates and check for any easy employer matching money you're missing. If you don't have an IRA or HSA started, set one up with Vanguard, Fidelity, or Schwab. Over the next 30 to 90 days, build your automated investing system and start that monthly dollar cost averaging with minimums as low as $100, but ideally $1,000 or more if your plan supports it. And for the long haul, commit to reviewing progress just once a year, never less, and resist tweaking in every market swing. If you stay on this path, here's what to expect. In 12 months, you'll have a plan so bulletproof, market jitter or economic news won't shake you. In 3 years, your habits will be your secret weapon. And in 10 to 30 years, the millions will take care of themselves. Remember, wealth is a marathon, not a lottery. Be sure to download the free 7 Moves to 1 Million Plus checklist linked in the description. So you never miss a step, print it, share it, and let it anchor your journey. Which of these moves are part of your plan? Already, let's motivate each other in the comments. If you're feeling confident or still anxious, comment below. Your questions and feedback shape what I tackle. Next, subscribe and turn notifications because next time we'll deep dive index funds, showing historical performance, how to set them up, and the mistakes most people don't see coming. Don't forget to hit like if this breakdown helped you and share with a friend about to hit their own 6-figure milestone. As always, this is not financial advice or a guarantee of returns, just education and tools you can use with your own advisor. Past performance isn't guaranteed, and your results may differ. Until next time, I'm Jim from Jim Invest. Stay steady, stay curious, and let your habits do the heavy lifting for decades to come.